y'all, Kristen Lajeunesse here, and you are watching the Will Travel for Vegan Food Marketing series, where I'm posting a video every single day throughout the month of January to share business, lifestyle, and marketing resources, tips, and out of comfort zone challenges, as well as some dance moves.
We'll travel for vegan food.
Today's question, or statement rather, comes from Cindy. Cindy said, I have no real direction on branding. Cindy, this is a great statement, not only because of its brevity, but also I think a lot of people feel the same way. And we find that we're short in our descriptions and questions and comments related to branding because we don't exactly know what it means or how it works. So I'm going to break it down for you. When you hear the word brand or branding, you probably immediately think of logos and design and color schemes and taglines that are directly associated with or linked to a corporation, something that becomes synonymous with the company. Generally, the goal of branding a product or service or a business is to make it easier for a client or customer to recall that brand. And yes, while that is the purpose of a brand, it doesn't mean that you need to spend hours and hours and thousands of dollars on creating a custom logo for your blog. What it does mean is that you need to get really clear on what your voice is and how you want to project and present yourself publicly, because ultimately what it comes down to, especially if you are a blogger or you're creating a product as a one-person show, it comes down to infusing your personality with what you're offering. When we're first getting into blogging or creating a product, we often look to other people for resources, and it can be really easy to get caught up in the way that they present the information, and we might start to emulate them. There's a line there that you want to make sure you don't cross, and that's going from taking your own personal creative touch and letting it become too much like the person or other people that we want to emulate. But the great news is that there is room for everyone. So even though there are already thousands of bloggers out there probably writing a lot about what you are writing about, it doesn't matter, because here's the thing. Your voice is what defines your brand. If you give yourself permission to talk like you would to your friends and your family when you're writing and when you're communicating on social media, you're going to not only create more immediate and sincere and deep, authentic connections with your followers, who will then be more excited to share what they're learning from you, but you're also going to set yourself apart from everyone else who's doing similar stuff. Now, the reason that this works is because we all tend to learn in different ways. We absorb information differently, and certain tones or outlooks speak to us better than others. For example, if you think about the variety of organizations out there and how they each choose to share the messaging, it's all slightly different, because what might work for one more extreme organization and reaches the people who want to hear it that way is great, might not work for an organization who's a little softer spoken, but maybe that organization speaks to a group of people who like to hear the message in that way. And that's why your brand is really about you and not so much about an image or a logo on your website. One of the fears that bloggers in particular have, I think deep down, comes down to wondering if people will really even be interested in what they have to say and how they say it. But again, remember that your voice is what defines your brand and your blog. Just be true and authentic and use terminology that you would in your everyday, and you're going to find people who connect with you on a very deep level. And yes, there will be people who don't connect with the way that you communicate your messaging, and that's totally cool, because there are outlets that reach out to them. So they can go be happy and find the people that communicate better with them, while you keep speaking through your own voice and connect with people who want to hear what you have to say. A great way to see this in action is by visiting one of your favorite blogs. Check out any of the posts where they've shared some really emotionally driven information, whether it's positive or negative, or it's about a big life change. You'll see that the amount of times that people comment and share on that content is way greater than on maybe a post that's just about a recipe. And that's because we communicate with each other through visual stimulation and written word, not just a logo on a piece of paper or on a website. Here are a couple of telltale signs if you are creating an authentic brand for your blog. Number 1, are you telling your own story? Are you sharing information in your own words and using your own language? Go back through and read your About page or your resources page or the last couple of blog posts. How much of your personality is in there? Have you made it sound a little too corporate or a little too dry because you're worried about what people might think? Well, time to scrap it, girl. Go back through and rewrite those posts and make them sound like they're coming from you, like you're talking to your friends on a casual afternoon enjoying a soy mocha latte at your favorite watering hole or coffee shop. The second thing that you can do to tell if you're being authentic and creating a brand that's custom to what you have to offer is to ask yourself, does this sound like you? You can even run it by a friend. Say you write your next blog post and take a close friend or a relative and ask them to read it and say, does this sound like something that I would say? Does it sound like me? Or does it sound like a carbon copy of somebody else? As a blogger, you're at a full advantage here because it's through your written word or video blogging that you can truly share who you are and your personality and make genuine connections by doing so. Therefore, my assignment to you is to give yourself permission to speak from your own voice, whether you're writing it down or doing a video blog or even the content that you share on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and whatever social media pages you use. Think about how you would talk genuinely to your friends and family and try to put that forward in all of your communication from this point on. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also share it with any friends or family who you think might benefit from watching this video. You're not going to want to miss what I have coming up later in this year, so be sure to swing on by WTFveganfood.com to sign up for email updates so that you don't miss a single thing. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow where it once again will be the Will Travel for Vegan Food marketing series.
Sun's out, high hopes, wear them as my winter coat to keep out the cold.
For email updates, you are not going to want to miss what I have coming up.
As I might, I can't hide the mystery.